stimulus money. When they passed the stimulus package, they created a pot of money to help families that were being affected by the recession and needed a little bit of extra help. Either, they lost their jobs, or, they're not getting a raise over the last few years and the cost of living has surpassed their paycheck. And so they needed a supplement, and Congress realized this, and so they created this pot of money for places like Laredo to draw down from DC.
A lot of children don't receive they're not receiving the food at school that they're used to, and the parents are struggling. Every spring break, every summer, we see an increase at the food bank of mothers coming in, families saying, we need help. We're used to our children eating at school. Now what do we do? And so I know there's summer feeding programs. They try to send them there, but you have the weekends and you have the evenings, and all of this food really helps fill in those gaps.
Families that have a large number of children, when they are at home and not getting the meals at school, it puts a strain on their budget. So for us to be able to have this available to them, they're just very grateful that they get this little extra help, especially right now when many of them are getting ready to go back to school and they have the extra expenses of buying, getting the uniforms, school supplies. So this is, it's not a whole lot, but it's something that that helps. And the majority of the people are very, very grateful for this.
And within about 2 weeks, we had all the merchandise working with another global specialties helping us getting all the food there. And we got 1.2 million pounds within 2 weeks. Now, within that 2 weeks, now we also need personnel. So we said, how are we going to bag all these things? You see all the bags out here. We hired a bunch of young people that were in high school. We said, let's hire these guys, give them jobs, making a good wage, about $8 an hour, which is pretty good. And they came in, they started bagging, putting the bags together, and then when all the food got there, then we started bagging all these things. And that's where we put about 17 different products in there. Now, the product is supposed to be for families that have children 18 and younger. So amazingly, with all those that have children like that, they pretty much qualify.
It takes a lot of preparation. We do have a pre-screening form that they are filling out while they're waiting in line. We have volunteers who are going up to them to make sure that they qualify. And the requirements are that they must have children under the age of 18 living in the home. They must be residents of the state of Texas, and they also must fall below the poverty guideline, which, as you all know, most of the people in our community fall below that line. So almost everybody who comes by here walks away with their bags of food.
So what we did here, we started doing what they call bag number 1, which is the heavier ones with the product. And that's the one that has the most product in there. So we got that first, and then we started bag number 2, which is less, but then also heavier in weight. Well, the bags here, right here, is a nutritional program. So here you're looking at such as green beans, you're looking at corn, tomato sauce, spaghetti. You're looking at also 15-pound bag of potatoes. So this is actually a 5-pound bag, but we're giving out 3 at this point. And then you also have beans. We're giving out 2 pounds of beans. We have rice as well. We have tuna fish, peanut butter, flour, cereal, milk. There's the oils there. There's also the Humex juice for them. You also have syrup, and there's also pancake, and there's also skillet dinner. So these are the kind of things to make pretty much as much as nutrition we can for a family.
We're currently dispersing over 21,000 or helping 21,000 families per month. So this is something that we already, know how to do. And so this is just an extra part. It's a little bigger, of course, but we've received a lot of help from the City of Laredo, the Parks and Leisure Department, Public Works Department, our Constable Rudy Rodriguez, Police Department, of course, Public Access, and just the entire community has really come together to help us. They know this is a big project, and everybody wants to be a part to make sure that we can, get the food out to the most needy.
We've been preparing for this since the probably late May, early June, and this is something that we needed to get it approved by state. And once it got approved, we moved quickly to get in the food. We brought in staff, so it was June, at least the beginning of June, since we finally we started planning for it. Once we got the approval, it just moved very, very quickly.
The need is very high here, and so you have to have these mass distributions. They're doing it differently in other parts of the state, but I think it's great that all this food is out here for people who need it, and it's being tracked very carefully. I know that they're doing a whole intake process, and all those paperwork comes back to the food bank and gets put into databases, so they make sure that no one is taking advantage of the program, and so the whole thing seems to be working really well.
Well, I know on this right here, especially, I have to give a reflection on maybe the way that people were bagging all this. And there was a lot of them that said, you know what, we want to see the ending results. And the best result is, yes, you put it in a bag, it gets repetitious, it gets boring, tiresome and all. But it's when you see the faces of the families that are finally getting it. And sometimes you see faces of pain, faces of sorrow, faces of loss, faces of love, because they're getting something that they can't believe is true. And it's happening. And right now like I said, we're giving away 1.2 million pounds of food. And what it is really, it's theirs, and it's nice to do that. And these kids are learning a lot of things about how to give back instead of, hey, what's for me? So yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. It's also spiritual. It's also within ourselves, and I think it makes us a better person when we finish this program.
Gracias al Food Bank. Thank you.